In this clip, we're going to look at tables. Tables were first introduced into Smart Notebook in version 10 and have proved to be really popular, so it's well worth getting to know the table tool. You add a table to a notebook page in this way. Click on the table tool and drag for the size of table you need, anything from a 1-cell table right up to 8x8, which gives you 64 cells. For this purpose, we're going to look at a 9-cell table 3x3. Simply click and the table is added to your notebook page. Once you've made your notebook table, you'll realise that it has many of the properties that other objects within Notebook have, such that it can be resized using the white button. The only difference is that to move the table, instead of clicking anywhere and dragging, which you do with a normal notebook object, you have to click the white box in the top left hand corner in order to move it around. In order to move the table, you have to select it. There are two ways to do this. The first is a marquee select, clicking and dragging over the table until the blue select indicator appears. The other way is to click and drag until you have selected from inside the table all of the cells. You can then grab any of those cells and move them around. Positioning the cursor over any of the grid lines allows you to drag to resize the size of the cells. In that way you can get to exactly the shape of table that you require. This is one of the few times when actually using the mouse when you design the activity is easier than trying to use your finger whilst using the smartboard. Adding content into the cell of a notebook table is easy. You simply drag and drop. A blue border shows you the cell is ready to accept the object you were dragging. Adding images into the table is also drag and drop. Notice that if you drag an image that's larger than the cell, it resizes to fit the cell. You can also drag directly from the gallery into a selected cell. To remove items from a notebook table, simply reverse the procedure. If you ever need to copy the contents of a cell, click and drag into a new cell and the contents are copied. Once the cell is selected in a notebook table, the toolbar at the top allows you to make adjustments. In this case, I'm just going to tidy the table a little by centering the text. Further options for each cell are available by selecting the cell and using the drop-down menu. In this case, I'm going to split the cell further into 2 columns. The final feature of the table tool I'm going to highlight is perhaps the most useful one. Selecting the drop-down menu for a cell allows you to add a cell shade. This means you can reveal the information in the table stage by stage. If you need to reapply the cell shade, simply click. If you want to add a table shade to every cell, select the whole table, use the drop-down menu, add table shade.